I feel. Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Amrita, your Saturday at Arms, and it is my pleasure to invite you all to the meeting number 340 of Amrita Toastmasters Club. Here at our club, we foster a supportive and encouraging environment where members can hone their communication and leadership skills, paving the way for self-confidence and personal. Before we kick off today's meeting, I kindly request all of you to please put your phones either on switch off mode or to set them to silent. Also note a few important guidelines, discussions on sex, religion, politics, as well as mentions of our institution are strictly prohibited. Let's maintain a professional tone throughout, avoiding any swearing or offensive language. A gentle reminder, avoid cross talk during the session and refrain from moving around while someone is speaking. If you need to leave the room, kindly wait until the speaker is concluded to avoid distractions. For our speakers, please keep an eye on the clock. Exceeding the time limit may lead to disqualification. At the end of the meeting, voting and suggestion forms will be shared, so please do take time to fill them out. Without further ado, I now hand over the stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Roshni. Thank you, Sadan. Toastmaster Namita. Welcome everyone to meeting number 340 of the Amrita Toastmasters Club. Thank you all for joining us on a Wednesday. Bit of a special day today. We are having our first ever icebreaker marathon of this term, and we have a bunch of Toastmasters newly joined the club already. That's you all today. Before we dive into the meeting, there are some guests with us today, and I would like to take a moment to introduce them. To the guests, if you could introduce yourselves and tell me something that you often use to break the ice. For example, I start introducing myself with my little of coffee. What is something you use for the guests? Yes. I myself empathy. First time says actually I won't be the first person. So maybe the first thing we need to I need to die. Sure. Like a regular stuff. What's the thing you really used to break the ice? I was just sleeping. It's just managing. It's still long. Plus, you want to bring the next the cubes. Depends on the size. So shall we? I'm gonna just not size it. But I can take that. That is very unique. Thank you. All right. I'm how would you initiate conversations? Let me rephrase it. Let's yes. Fair enough. Thank you for joining us. And yes, we also have our newly joined Toastmaster Shreya. Yay, welcome to the club. All right, with that, let's jump right into meeting number 340, the icebreaker man. I would like to now pass over control to our chairman evaluator for the day, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster. Yes, good evening, everyone. As your general evaluator, my role is to evaluate the entire meeting, ensure that everything is going as per the flow, and we don't have any disruptions or anything. And to do that, I have a tactic who will be helping me throughout this evaluation. So I'll first call upon our time for the day Toastmaster Rishi to introduce the room.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters. And yes, I am GC. I'm the thanks for care. The role of the timer is to time every single speech in this meeting and to disqualify anybody to take the overboard. So, for in the icebreaker speeches, the meeting the speech going to be from 4 to 6 minutes. I'll be showing the green card at 4 minutes, the yellow card at 5 minutes, and the red card at 6 minutes. A buffer time of 30 seconds will be provided. For the individual evaluators, the timer is from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. I'll be showing the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and red card at 3 minutes. Again, a buffer time of 30 seconds will be provided. And for table topic speakers, where tables of 1 to 2 minutes will be provided, where I'm showing the green card in 1 minute, the yellow card in 130 seconds, and the card 4 minutes, again, I'll buffer the of 10 seconds be provided. Thank you. Back to general value. Thank you, General Manager, for the person.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster here. I will be your art counter for today. So, my role is exactly what it sounds like. When we speak, we use filler words like or, What I do is I give you a count of those words. And it is not to shame you or to say that, you know what, you use so much, cut it down. It's just simply a help. And I will provide my report at the end of the meeting. Back to our general manager, Toastmaster.
Now I call upon our Romanian Toastmaster, Ishita, to introduce herself. Thank you, Daniel Evaluator. Hello, everyone. I am Ishita, and I will be a grammarian from today. So the role of a grammarian is pretty simple. I will be keeping track of your language usages, whether good or bad, and for the end of the meeting, I will be reporting back to you on all the good things that you use and improvements that you make for the next time. Additionally, I will also be on the lookout for the word of the day. And if you use the word of the day in a sentence where which constitutes something specific. All right. So the word of the day today is not Navitas. It's nascent. So nascent basically it means something that implies a new beginning, like new origin, something that is developing, something that is budding. And a couple of example sentences could be the nascent field of artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming industry worldwide. Or my nascent diet plan died at the site of but yeah, if you use the word of the day in a sentence, yes, right, shout out and maybe something else. You will not really what it is, but yes. Encouraging everyone to use the word of the day, please. This is not a request, this is a threat.
Oh, okay.
The word of the day. And with that, I will be putting all the good improve the good usages of language, your improvements at the end of the meeting. And with that, I would like to pass back control for general events.
Okay, so we have a guest with us, Birgu Dev. So if you could unmute and introduce yourself, it would be great. Could you unmute?
Yes, I'm Brigudev from first year ELC. Hello.
Yes. Yes. 1 second. Yeah, could you now could you speak?
Yeah, I'm Brigudev from ELC first year.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so we can proceed with our meeting. So we have a nice break of us for today. We have 3 wonderful speakers who are coincidentally sitting on the same.
So solidarity.
All the best, all the 3 of you. Our first request speaker for today is Toastmaster Amrita, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Amrita. But Toastmaster Amrita is also being evaluated by Toastmaster Ishta as she's doing her level 1 project for evaluation project. So I call upon Toastmaster Ishta once again. Thank you.
That yeah, we take it. Great. All right. So hello everyone. So back again. But this time as Toastmaster Namita's individual evaluation of this. So the role of an individual evaluator is actually pretty important. You know how in sports people often get a coach and them along the way, right? Something similar is the role of an individual evaluator. So basically in Toastmasters, you get pathways, get mentors and things which will help you develop and refine your speaking skills along with your own identity and personality, right? So the role of an individual evaluator is to basically guide you maybe throughout your speech, maybe through a particular project, and they'll be eventually giving you feedback based on it. So today's Toastmaster Namita will be attempting her L1B4 part 3. So for Toastmasters, we have this thing called pathways, and in that you get to choose different varieties, and of those you have levels. Okay, so levels you basically have level 1, level
what levels we should have to complete to get a verifying certificate. And those levels are further divided into projects. So today, Toastmaster Amrita will be attempting her level 1 project 4. Specifically, project 4 is divided into 3 parts. The first 2 parts is to deliver a speech and to get feedback from an individual evaluator and then deliver it again based on the feedback. And Toastmaster Amrita will be attempting the third part of that project, which is to evaluate another speaker and to present her evaluation to the audience. And I will be evaluating Toastmaster Amrita's individual evaluation. So I will be basically checking how well the feedback should be giving is, her language usage, her overall body language, etc. And I'll be giving my feedback towards the end of the meeting in the individual evaluation session. With that, I wish Toastmaster Amrita all the very best. Thank you, Toastmaster Shita. You don't have to pay attention. That's what those are. Okay, so the thing is, 3 of our speeches are icebreaker speeches. And usually before every speech, the individual evaluator comes and introduces the project. But since 3 of the speeches are the same project, I have made the individual evaluator's job much easier by introducing the project myself. So, the speech is basically the first speech by any Toastmaster. So they basically introduce themselves to the club, and the timing is just 4 to 6 minutes, unlike our regular speeches, which are 5-7 minutes. So this is the most chill project that you can see in the rest of your pathway because you have freedom to do whatever you want under the Toastmaster guidelines. So, without we shall start the icebreaker marathon. I'm first prepared speaker with Toastmaster later. So, one second. Toastmaster superpowers I didn't ask for. Superpowers I didn't ask for Toastmaster. You know how some people dream of having superpowers like flying, mind reading, or teleportation? I have superpowers, completely useless ones. Things that don't make me a superhero, but just a chaotic human being. Hello, my dear guests. Let me introduce you to my brain. My brain is a very weird space. It's filled with awkwardness, overthinking, and the ability to do everything, except the things I'm actually supposed to. So let me introduce you to my superpowers. Superpower number 1, overthinking, aka time travel, mentally of course. So, some people let things go. I, on the other hand, replay every single awkward conversation I've ever had since childhood over and over and over again. For example, if you text me a K instead of okay, don't worry, I won't care. But I will be worrying for the next 3 days that did I do something wrong? Did I upset the person? Go into a whole spiral. I can overanalyze any situation, even a 2-minute conversation. For example, why did I reply you too when the waiter asked me to enjoy my meal? And the worst part, every birthday I do this without fail. Someone comes up to me, wishes me happy birthday, and I go happy birthday again without saying thank you. And then I overthink this till my next birthday. Final, and I'm about to sleep. My brain decides to pull out a highlight reel of every single embarrassing thing I have ever done since childhood. Like, thank you so much. Like, I really needed to be reminded about the cringy thing I did in 20. Superpower number 2, unnecessary memory retention. You know, people have photographic memory, right? I have it too. For completely wrong reasons. I can remember the exact outfit a stranger wore to a party 5 years ago. I can remember my friend's coffee order down to the exact form of calorie. I can remember everybody's birthday they tell me without using a calendar. But on their birthday, I forget about the next. But useful things like my ATM pin, my phone number, I forget my phone number. And what did I study last time? Did I study last time? I don't remember. If my brain was a hard drive, it would be filled with completely junk files, like celebrity gossip. All the friends my sister has, like she's a complete opposite of me. She has like 435 friends and I have 4. or for people I talk to. I can remember an entire movie I watched once, but an actual lecture, and then four not four data not four. Superpower number two, bookworm. If I pick up a book that is even remotely interesting, consider me gone. I have moved on to a new fictional world. I have a new identity, a new mission, and maybe, possibly, a pet rat. This is both a blessing and a curse. A blessing because books are awesome, and a curse because my book addiction kicks in days before an important exam. My brain decides, Mother, would it be a great idea right now to start a 700-page fantasy novel? And I listen. I listen every single time. And because I fall into this silly trap, I'm not studying, I convince myself just one chapter. Just one chapter and we'll get back to studying. We all know how that ends. Superpower number four. The ability to sleep instantly. But when I'm not supposed to sleep. Give me a classroom, a lecture, and a mildly going professor. I'll be gone as if you're the concept. Instantly. I'll give you the most peaceful sleep in my life. But when I'm actually supposed to sleep, like at night, that's when my brain works to its full capacity. That's when my brain starts giving me motivational pep talks, tells me about how I can improve in my studies. And then I replay every single conversation I had with everyone that day. Bonus points if I remember the perfect comeback to a fight I had with my sister 2 weeks ago. Superpower number five. Awkward ninja. I have the ability to turn any conversation into pure awkwardness in seconds. If I meet a person for the first time, two things can. Either I'll share my entire life story with them within like 5 minutes, everything about them, and then I'll overthink about it after that. That's a completely separate. Or I will go mute. I'll forget that I can speak. I'll try to get out of there as soon as possible. Superpower number six. Distracted you. People take notes, really organized, structured notes. I take notes too. But after class, when I flip through my notes, there will be numbers, squiggles, stick figure patterns, and a questionable looking cat. There's always a questionable looking cat in all my notes. And when the exam time comes and I actually need my notes, I wish they would like diffuse into my brain and give me knowledge, but that never happens. So this is the list of my chaotic superpowers. If I could trade them for like extra focus in class, I totally would. But for now, I guess I have to embrace all my chaotic superpowers because they make me who I am. And I hope I don't overthink this speech for the next 5 years. Thank you. And don't worry, you don't have to overthink about this speech for the next 5 years. Now, now our second speaker for today is Roshni Show, and she is being evaluated by Toastmaster Amrita. So, this is Amrita.
Sure.
Okay. So what's our Amrita? Right? So, Toastmaster Show. I don't even have a plan. I don't even have a plan. Toastmaster Show. Hello everyone. I would like to start by speaking to the question. How many of you have put yourself to a place where you have absolutely no idea of what you're doing? But somehow, like till the end, I know all of us are doing it right now this college, but still. So this question summarizes my entire life story. Whether it's pretending to understand an English show, or trying to assemble an IKEA furniture without having to read the manual, or giving confidently giving life advices to my friends when we being lost in any way and mastered doing it. So, good evening, Toastmasters, and yes, I'm Toastmaster Shobna, standing here to give my first ever speech in Toastmasters Club. And trust me, I'm going to make speech with the eyes and not bones because they are too fragile for that. No, I can't give that anymore. So, when I talk to my mentor about what I speak in the icebreaker, say talk about yourself, say everything about you or your hobbies and stuff. And when I thought about that, the first thing that sparked in my mind was my beautiful childhood. Childhood is something that all of us can cherish no matter what, isn't it? So my childhood was one such glorious childhood where I can categorize it into three eras. The first one is a carefree era. This is a phase where I did nothing but just enjoy my life to the fullest. Weekends used to weekend for me. I used to go on beach days with my mom and dad on Sundays and parks on Saturdays and hang out with the friends like all the time. At the time, my entire vision in life was to just wander across the streets or the quiet homes of my friends for the snacks. I used to have this strategy in my mind. After coming back from school, I used to go to one friend's home for the for evening snacks, and then go escape from there and go to another for dinner. And somehow at the end of the day, I still have some space left in my stomach for the dessert. So I'm literally the Zomato, but I carry myself the food. Yeah. So that's how fun and engaging my carefree era. And that is the kind of when life hit me with pause because my father had to shift to another state for his work. And unfortunately, he couldn't take me to that, take us there. And since my mother was also working, I had to join the daycare. You know what a daycare, all of you guys know what a daycare is. And a daycare, I mean, trust me, that place was a Hogwarts for all those 20 class kids. That is where I transitioned from my carefree era to the overachieving era. That me wanted to be everywhere. You name it, I'll be there. See, let's take counts on first. Whether playing for volleyball team representing school, yes. Playing representing a badminton club of our school in leagues and matches, yes. Taking a part in all the competitions, yes. Winning them, yes. At the time, yeah, winning, yes. And then singing and being a member of choir club, yes. Then academic, topping up the academic charts, triple check. I used to read that. I used to be singing everything at once. And if that means, see what I'm right now, she will probably smack me with the cricket bat that she always wanted to play with. And talking about cricket, I still remember we used to play gully cricket like it is IPS finals. And tossing for the field is like a battle. It's like a life or death battle where you get to choose among your friends. And if you choose one, you don't get to choose the other. And yeah, that was such a story. That's another hilarious story. And we used to fight amongst us to find people to play long game, tick, 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 and all such games like that. And then life was all full, joyful, fun. And I still remember when in daycare, I used to take tiny, tiny classes to the young kindergarten children, ABC. And it is simple. Wheels on the bus, loud. Right? I was doing it all fun. And then came the third era where life threw me a curveball. An announcement echoed in my head. Due to Corona, COVID-19, schools and colleges will be shifted to online. And that's when that's okay. You see, that's a dream come true for many of us, including myself in some situations, because you get to wear your comfortable pajamas, take a comfortable shoes, attend classes, pretend to attend classes, and say, ma'am, I have internet issues and I couldn't answer when maths is calling me for answering some question. And but the campus life that I always wanted, the me who want to be surrounded by people and have all fun with, I miss those days till me. And that is when I tried to reduce, or I was put in a situation where I had to reduce myself talking to others because we were all isolated in our place, right? That's where I started to do activities that engage myself from talking to others and just focus on others. And the next 2 years went so fast that I could figure out whether it's still in hurry or a self classes from. And that's when my dad threw another question to me. What am I going to do with the life? I didn't figure it out yet. But still, I had a big dream of becoming a genetic engineer. You may ask why. I'm not fascinated by genetic codes or DNA, RNA, but because of Shruti Hasan in Era Marigo. All the people who watch Era Marigo, she was like so cool in that film, okay? And then now I'm standing here, life took turns, and I'm a cybersecurity student, basically, which has got nothing to do with what I actually wanted to do. I'm trying to hack systems. Then the older me, the younger me wanted to hack biological experiments, maybe. So, with the whimsical life that I had so far, one thing I learned. Everything that we can do, you can figure it out yourself. We started, we improvise, we sometimes push wrong buttons. In my case, it's the most correct. But then I can make it happen. And as Michael Scott from Office says, sometimes I start a sentence, I don't even know where it's going, but I get going to. And that's my life cycle so far. It's working well. And if we know what to do, if we don't know what to do here, what will happen if we don't actually know what to do? Over to you, General.
30 from experience and 30 exactly. To the zeros.
I think I'm not time useful.
Yeah, yeah.
It was on show and a wonderful speech. I did those concert after do your evaluation.
Who did that?
We have our last prepared speaker for today, Toastmasters Punch, and being evaluated by Toastmaster Sean. And yes, I'm well aware that he knows. Yeah, Sean.
Those was the channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm completely well aware of the project criteria by now. So, Toastmasters Punch, life that shapes us. Life that shapes us, Toastmasters Punch.
So life that shapes us. I always admired a person called Steve Jobs. You should definitely have heard of him. And he's even my concept DP and even my wallpaper. Right? So this Steve Jobs guy, he once said, those experiences that were good, the ones that make. Until he said that, I never thought about this. And then I just reminded my whole life. And then I understood what made me the person that I am. Because as I said, that's my experiences. And here I am to share all my experiences. And the experiences are somewhere related to my memories. And then I heard this song. The memories bring back, memories bring back. This thing really went in my head. And there is one piece of lyrics. Someday I remember when I did not know nothing, when I believed in forever, that everything will stay the same. And my heart feels like December, with somebody saying, but it really can't be God. How many people did the lyric hit harder than the music? That's the truth. And let me tell you my experiences. When I was so mischievous that all of my teachers prayed that I would go out of this school system. And one day, I still remember, there was a girl in my class who had this pencil box and the fancy pencil box with all the lights. And then I scared her and plugged the lights, LED lights out of her. And then when everyone went in class, me and my scientist friend Nageshwar, we went to the plug, we put the LED in it and switched on it. Switched on the switch. And boom, it blasted. And that's when I learned never to mess with things. And exactly learned the fact. So this was the thing which went till the prince. And I was still very confidently arguing that it was not me who did that, it was the other guy. And then my mother really figured out that I was completely getting in a very bad track in that school. And this happened in fifth grade, by the way. So she changed me. She decided to change the school. And somehow, my mother happened to be the principal of that school. Wow. And this school was that one school where people really start preparing for IT from sixth grade. And I was sent into this school. And I was just shocked. I was awestruck with the interviews. It was the topmost school in the city. And I was sent into the topmost section. There is section division, just like they do in Allen, right? That's there from class 4th. And I was sent to the topmost section. That means I had to compete with the best guys in the city. The first exam, I got 36th rank in the class. And 36 people were there. And that never worked. All I did was, balance. I go to watch. She would send me. And the whole match period, I would sit in the watch and stare outside. Near the phone towers, the Warangal phone tower, Doordarshan towers, and the Warangal phone towers are the two towers that I actually love. And I stayed at them almost all the time. And I did nothing other than that. Then lockdown. For everyone, lockdown was the time that really which made them mess up their lives. I could really see that in many people. Okay. But lockdown was something that changed everything around. Because I was predicting this online classes since my first. There was from UKG to first grade, there was an orientation session. I went to the computer lab. I said to my madam, why can't we hear this class that we are saying from online? And I had this dream. I prayed to God for these online classes. I don't know God would hear me that. So I was really confident, I was excited. And that was the first time my mother saw me studying. And then things changed very rapidly. And 10th grade came. The lockdown got over. And Sudhanshu getting 10 by 10 CGPA. Everyone in my family was shocked. But even I was shocked. But the best thing that happened to me was that result. I just saw the way my mom reacted. She was the principal of the school. So she had this pressure on her about me. Every teacher thought this principal's son, but he couldn't do well. And this principal teaches us. That was the time she raised her head up and she looked at those two. And then I joined in my 11th and 12th in the same coaching center, which is started by school with 100% scholarship. No, and that was a very exciting thing for me. But that was the topmost one in the city again. I had to compete. But then I competed with grace, with joy. And that's the best time in my life. 11 and 12. I thought if a movie were to be made on me, this would be the intervention. But no, the moment I came to Amrita and the moment my parents left me and I saw them leave the gate, and then I knew I'm now in a society, away from the hearts of my parents. That's the internal of it. And the country, you know it, right? Thank you.
Yes. And good job to our icebreakers who have successfully told their stories in a very beautiful way. More on that in the evaluation session. Until then, we will move on to the second round of today's meeting, which is the table topics. And today we have a person who has taken the table topic master role in the very last minute. So I call upon our table topic master, Toastmasters City, to conduct the table.
So I was promoted to table topics master from the accountant 5 minutes before the meeting started.
Sorry.
Yeah, so unfortunately I do not have a theme for today's table topics. But and punishment I'm on calling for strong.
Okay.
So sorry for it. Okay. So you have to spend the day as the other person. How will the day go?
Then what's the timing criteria for review cover? Same. It's same. So it's as a purpose.
Yeah, purpose.
It's being Toastmaster Pranav is a fairly easy thing to describe. Every time I walk out of campus at around 6:30 or 7, I see him running past on the outer ring of our college. And you should see such dedication to the face of the guy. It's like he's going. You won't believe it if I told you this man was running a marathon within cash. Like he'll say hi and he'll be gone. I don't know where he's gone, where he's disappeared. And one thing I've always admired about him is the way he knows how to balance things. Whenever I see Pranav, he's always at that spot with purpose. As in, if I see him at the library, he's there studying. He's there at the canteen, he's there. If I see him on the road, he's running again. But the way I like his style of living is he knows that he should spend time for it. I remember the first time I ever saw a speech of Pranav's. I was flabbergasted. Mostly because he took 9 minutes to finish that speech. But it was beautiful. I went up to him right after and I told him, you know what? You should have won. And then I realized we have timing criteria, so we didn't win. But since then, I've realized he's a very excited. He loves Interstellar like I do. He loves space like I do. I almost joined aerospace and wasn't junior. I served as his deputy when he was secretary. And in some ways, I feel like being Toastmaster Pranav would be half of being myself. And the rest, I can learn something. The rest, I can experience something. And I'm pretty sure it would be very interesting to see what happens when you spend a day in other positions. Who will I meet? Who's dear to them? What are his stories? What are his memories like? What happens on a day-to-day basis? If something goes wrong, how does he handle it? Something goes right, how does he handle it? Who does he go to in time of stress? Who does he go to when he wants to celebrate? And for one, I feel like that's what peace happens. I, for one, very much like experience that. You. Wow.
Firstly, thank you, Toastmasters Volunteer. That's quite high standard in itself. Being means harmful, being Toastmasters Volunteer, that means a lot. Thank you. What I feel about Toastmasters Volunteer, he took words right out of my mouth. I feel the same thing about Alfie. He is always the high performer. He's there in everything. You see, one moment he's shooting a reel with Anand running around campus, stealing petabytes out of and it's just heartwarming. Something related to AI, when hackathon and stuff. And again, that's something that I've greatly admired about the I feel we need to stay on campus at least. For us, life is so hectic. And for him, he has come all the way from campus. And it's a very incentive to get out of bed, travel across the city, travel to the train, then come across to actually spend the entire day here. So stressful. I think it must be quite short. Uh, I would say to be Aditya is, when Aditya speaks, the very first few words of the mouth, you want to listen to it. He gives you a reason to listen to it. And I think that is something that I really look up. Although I feel that my skills are quite nascent in this, but I feel that that's something that I really look up to, and I want to handle mental that. Thank you.
Good questions. Usually it's a joy to listen to these work, and next time I'd like what is to come up for a training with others. How do you start it? How do you start?
Recently, I've started listening to movies as well as reading along with it. So, after a tiring day at the library, when I go back to home, I spend half an hour or 1 hour reading to music, reading to books and listening to music meanwhile watching the video on my iPad. Kind of does something, right? I can sleep peacefully with it. Basically, well, I really can't do this.
It's Toastmaster who would like to cover. Please offer yourself. I don't want to choose. Oh, she's talking a lot today. So.
Yes.
Toastmaster Sean.
Yes, sir. Oh, I can shoot.
Yes. Okay. So my question is, is it better to have love and lost or not love at all?
You can learn it.
Yes.
Can't get it for now. Can't get it for better. Can't get it for now. Okay.
The majority says no. I'm sorry.
I just tried down my life. It feels feel. There's nothing like that. Is it better to have love than to never have love? All of you are familiar with the concept of love. And if you probably experience your what I understand. All of you have probably experienced love from that. Might be understood. Some of you have any good other. So I think praying for that. Point of view, never to have love. That's not really something people come across when you never see someone who is not love. There is love for everyone in this world. There is no such person who has never been in love. Right? There are only people who do not have the capacity or who believe themselves not have the capacity, And that is a very sad thing. It's not something I'm going to talk about this. When you say it is better to have love first than to never have love at all, I feel you do not know how valuable love is to you. Because as someone has probably said in the past, absence makes the heart more warm. Absence of whatever you love would probably mean your next love may seem a little more fun. So when you ask me that question, is it better to have love and loss than to never have love? There is always opinion, right? I think you got it. I don't know.
Are you a Toastmaster Sheila? Nice meeting you. Questions for this. Then you're taking the kind of the question. Good evening. The one thing that I've taken for granted for sure would be my dad's credit card. I don't know why I chose to say that, but then when I say my dad, then some guy he would be like showing my bank balance or showing the way you spend money. So I think that's something that I have taken granted. Um, Also because I have a sibling, I am supposed to have a quality to share, um, which also apparently involves sharing my dad's money. So we get conversations at home having to talk about who gets this property and who gets that property. So I always stand by dad's property because I don't know why, but it's kind of emotional. But it's not just his property, but also his love. But my sibling goes with my grandfather's property because she just wants money, not love. So yeah. So I think So very I don't know, introspecting topic according to me because it's dealing with my dad's financial stuff. But yeah, that's something that I have taken care for so many years. All good statement that's I know. So another guest.
Sure.
Because I am bad at names, I have a very short memory. So you wake up in a grayscale world, what is the object that you miss having color the most? So black and white, you wake up in a black and white.
I know. Gosh. So, hello everyone, I'm Joel. So, as you hear about the topic, that you wake up and you see everything black and white and you miss something which is colorful. So, for me, see, while sleeping, you see everything black, and while I open my eyes, it's like fully blurry to me. So, I don't see anything special, but the thing is, something which is colorful means something you see the situation to be beautiful. Suppose you wake up in the morning, you see your mom pouring water on your face, sometimes you go like that. So I remember the colorful things when the moms wear this nightie with usually Kerala dress. And those things actually remembers in our memories where if you see anything in grayscale, you won't actually feel the enjoyment. Because when you see something, you have the tiny memories in your brain, the memories that you will want to record in your life. Colors definitely play a huge role in it. So it's not about the form, it's about everything. Everything you see in the world, everything you see around the environment. If it is black and white, you feel something is wrong within you. Because mostly our emotions, the negative emotions we face in our life, that is the grayscale. We see everything in black and white because our life is down too bad. And that's what we see among an environment. But we should cultivate the positive energy so that we can get this colorful faces in our whole environment so that we can be happier. This is a very much important, valuable in our aspects in our life. Never have the positive energy in all the cases that you feel people. Thank you.
August. Next table topics. Who would like to go? Some. Okay. You join online.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is something unexpected that made you like a win for
It's my feeling.
home in the informal ways?
So I must say it's food. That's all like in the heartful food. So since and for some reason I'm not getting words. When is the last time you missed your home food? Not for you. Question's not for you. So the moment I came here to college, everything was fine. So peaceful environment, all new faces, good friends, collaborating, socializing. It was all good. It was all good except for the food. So in my perspective, food is the one thing which can make you feel as if you're in a home, no matter where you are. Even in a ship, if you get the favorite recipe of yours, which is exactly cooked the way your mom cooks it, you won't feel a difference. You won't feel seasick or something like that. So homely food, that's what makes me feel.
So this is the end of today's table topic sessions. Back to the dinner. Thank you, Toastmasters City, for conducting that very on the spot table topic session with the last minute crisis that we had. Now we move on to the final segment of today's video, evaluations. So our first prepared speaker for today was Toastmaster Amrita, and she was evaluated by Toastmaster Amrita. So I can't call Toastmaster Amrita to deliver her evaluation of Toastmaster Amrita.
Hello all, I am Toastmaster Amrita and I was Toastmaster Amrita's individual evaluator for the day for her icebreaker speech. As the icebreaker is the first speech that the nascent Toastmaster gives in the club after joining. I wasn't very critical in my judging. First of all, congratulations on successfully completing your icebreaker project. To start off with, I would like to first share the major attractions to the speech that I noticed. The moment I heard the title, the superpowers, I didn't ask how. I was thrilled up and I had my ears all cocked up. And I'm sure all of you had that as the same thing. I really like the way you had linked your life to a superhero and all the traits or qualities you possess superpowers. So it was good in grabbing the audience attention. And also the way you just came up on stage and then started off just like that without looking at anybody with the throttle of your voice was so good. You had very good word clarity, voice clarity, and every word you said was distinguishable from the other. And you had good hand gestures, your good voice coordination, and your eye contact. It was good most of the time, but at a few points I noticed that you either looked up or down. Maybe you were trying to memorize the speech, but it would be better if you look after that. Then another aspect that I really liked about the speech was the very relatable things that you pointed out. From the urge to take up a 700-page novel just before an exam, to the overthinking, and most importantly, the brain that remembers everything except for the stuff you don't have to remember. So all these really added up to your speech. Now, a few modifications that I would like to suggest for your speech now. If you could utilize the stage a bit more, like you were mostly rooted to this one position on the stage. If you could move a bit here, a bit to this side, not more a bit, it would be better. And you were just fidgeting with your feet. You were just going this side, this side, this side. Rather than that, just go here, stay for some time, then come back. That would make it better. Now, a pause between the speech would give time for the audience to take in what you just said. What I noticed about your speech was that you rushing to the speech. So even before the audience could understand your previous sentence, you just moved on to the second, and a bit of it might have missed out on the audience. Now, as I stated earlier, looking down or up just to memorize the speech, if could have been avoided. Overall, the speech was really good. And once again, all the congratulations on completing your icebreaker project. I hope to see much greater speeches from you. Thanks so much.
Our second thing for today was and she was a positive marketing part. So
Suggestion, can you put your mustache on you to differentiate the one?
that's not required. Okay, that okay. So when I had asked Toastmaster Shobana to send a speech writer, she had said, I don't even have a plan. So after listening to looking at that, I immediately remembered Friends because he is a very famous quote by TV. I don't even have a plan, and that came to my mind. But then for some reason, I was looking at it again. I was thinking, I hope Shobana did not miss an N over there. So I just confirmed with her, Shobana, is it plan or is it plan? And she told me, no, it's plan, don't worry. And that's when I realized, and of course, her speech did justify it. And here's the thing: I've been an introvert in my childhood, so it was actually very refreshing to see an extrovert's point of view on life, if I can call it that. An extrovert's, because when she had told so many things, like I had done this, I had done that, I was thinking that all I had done in my childhood was just sitting in my classroom and daydreaming. Apart from that, I did not do anything. So it was really good. Some of the good things about her speeches were number one, her gestures. She used a lot of gestures. She was utilizing her body movements quite a lot. Second one is the relatability content. Like in the intro, I think she had mentioned her about being a foodie, and then many references of Era Malibu movie, and then The Office, and of course Gully Cricket and many other things. And the audience was actually she included a lot of unintentional humor and intelligent humor as well. So the audience was laughing and they were relating to it a lot. So good job on that. And the pacing was actually perfect for the speech that she was giving. And that was actually really clever to add a lot of references into her speech, which actually made the pacing also justified. Some of the improvements that I would suggest that I noticed in her speech. Number one, the eye contact. Her eye contact was mostly not to the audience. It was either towards the empty places or towards the wall where there is no audience. So I would recommend Toastmaster Shikana to try to maintain or eye contact with the audience, even though it is hard. But in our initial speeches, try to look at the audience and speak. And then another thing was, I think towards the end, there was an instance where Toastmaster program was a little black, where I think she forgot her lines. So one suggestion is that whenever you forget something, it's only you who know that you have forgotten something. So it's better if you try to make up things related to your speech when you have delivering your speech. And one more, and to challenge yourself, I would recommend Toastmaster Shobana to include audience interaction. There was a question in the beginning, but then she did not wait for an answer. She just moved on with the speech. So when an audience interaction, try to wait for the audience response and then carry on with your speech. Apart from that, brilliant speech, a brilliant scripting with a lot of relatable content. However, better eye contact and utilizing and preserving the facts would actually make your speech even better. So, congratulations on making your nice. Back to the children library. Our speaker for today was Toastmaster Sudash, and he is evaluated by Toastmaster Sean. So I call upon Toastmaster Sean to deliver the third coach.
Toastmasters Bash. First of all, you know, that's it. I forgot to reach out to him when I learned you were the set as funny. Gradually, that's what I next. I thought to reach out, offer my experience in basic. I want to get to in this explain. It's about just that's right. Toastmasters Bash. Life that shapes success secrets. When I heard your title, the code came to me. Nothing about me is original. I am a collection, an amalgamation of everyone I've met, everyone I've known, one I've loved. And you've done a very excellent, right? The stage of our club, and then by stage, I do not mean the literal stage, I mean the metaphorical stage. We've had a lot of stages that shifted across the years. So online, then it was C109. So now we are used to being. The stage of our club has seen a lot of incredible speakers. And I've seen a lot of people start their journey on that stage. And I am proud to have witnessed another generation of speakers join that legion of speakers. So congratulations to all of you who have done their icebreaker speech today. Congratulations to all of you completing your icebreaker speech. And if you are worried about, okay, my icebreaker speech went bad, anything like that, just want to let you know. There's no such thing as a lot mistake. An icebreaker is immensely special in the way that you can do it however you do, right? Even the concept of time disqualifications doesn't really apply to icebreakers. Just be told the time as well, just so that you are aware. Cool. So, you had very excellent. I believe one other speech I heard with singing Toastmaster and was the other person. It's a speech. If I have forgotten someone else, that is my hypothesis. You managed to maintain your vocal
let's say, what's the term? Your voice, right? Your tone. You manage to make it clever. You manage to maintain it throughout your attacks. Excellent. Very good. But I would like it if you were able to improve your pacing and your vocal variety, right? Because the thing is, we can give a speech like that, and it is very effective. But when you are able to speed up or slow down or move your pitch slower or higher than realistic, it helps you bring emphasis to points you want to study. Right? Then that's basically about it for my sort of recommendation. Because another thing is your conclusion. I think could have been a bit more fleshed out, a bit more rounded out before you ended this sort of end of the bit of the play. So just focus on that. But you have a very excellent speech. Congratulations.
Okay, now we will have our final evaluator for today, Toastmaster Ishika, who evaluated Toastmaster Namita's evaluation project. Come on, that is not by itself. Okay, yes. Okay. All right. So again, the first is I was going to be the individual evaluator. But how do you think you did? All right. We'll see. So, Toastmaster Namita's project was the purpose of the project was basically to evaluate one speech, and that is part of our L1T, specifically the party of it. And first of all, I think something that people often miss out is the title, okay? Because while making a speech, we tend to focus much on content, on the entire structure, that when the GE calls out the speaker to deliver their speech, to miss out on the title. And something that Toastmaster Amrita pointed out was the beauty of Toastmaster title, and I think that was a very good thing. You also immediately began by congratulating Toastmaster Madhumita on completing her icebreaker, so you got the entire attention for that. And you maintained eye contact with your speaker throughout your evaluations. That makes it a bit more personal, right? You commented on Toastmaster Madhumita's body language, her eye contact. You showed how good her vocal clarity was. You picked out portions of your speaker's speech to kind of highlight what you liked, to show the improvements. And that is something that's a very good thing to know because it will show that you were paying attention to your speaker's speech, right? You also had good vocal variety and clarity as well, something that people often ignore in evaluations because it not only makes it more engaging, you get the speaker's attention and you also get the audience attention. So good job on that. You also give suggestions for her stage weakness. You pointed out how she could have improved, what she did good, and I think that was a very good thing that you did. And you wrapped up by congratulating her once again. Moving on to the improvements, I just two major improvements that I thought you could use was one, speak a bit slower. It's something I have struggled with and I still struggle with because life is short and you want to get I am not talking about life is short, but life is short. You want to get out as many words per minute, and I think that was something you struggled. But it was only towards the end, I think maybe when you saw the title card come up, wanted to wrap it up as quick as possible. So you kind of moved a bit more faster than what would have been nice. But again, you kind of maintain the basic flow. Something else would be to have a conclusion to effectively wrap up your evaluation. You can just summarize the main points. You can just showcase the good points, the improvements, so that you can deliver it back to Master Madhumita in a nutshell, so that she can have a quick think and be like, okay, this is what I have to do. This is what I have to do about. This is something that I did well. But apart from that, you did a great job. For your evaluation, in a nutshell, you had good vocal clarity. You managed to showcase your speakers' improvements, showcase what all they did well. You congratulated them, and basically gave a very good evaluation. Those must come tough. Congratulations on successfully completing your L1 project. Very well done, and I look forward to continuing your feedback. Twice. I called you twice. Don't worry. Okay, thank you, because evaluators. Now we will move on to the tactics reports. So first, I call upon our timer for today, Toastmaster Rishi, to deliver us.
So I'm back with the I might quote. So the prepared speakers were all icebreakers. Toastmaster Madhu spoke for 5 minutes 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Shobhana spoke for exactly 6 minutes and 20 seconds perfectly. And then Toastmaster Sudham spoke for 6 minutes and 57 seconds. And it was an amazing song. I very like it. And then for the individual evaluators, Toastmaster Namita spoke for 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Toastmaster Arti spoke for 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Toastmaster Sean spoke for 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Toastmaster Ishita spoke for 3 minutes and 4 seconds. And for table topic section, Toastmaster Aditya spoke for 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Toastmaster Pranab spoke for 1 minute and 23 seconds. Yes, Nimiti spoke for 25 seconds. Toastmaster Sean spoke for 1 minute and 44 seconds. Toastmaster Shreya spoke for 1 minute and 22 seconds. Guest Juman spoke for 1 minute and 45 seconds. And guest Rikin spoke for 52 seconds. That's the
Toastmaster Aditya,
Okay, so good evening everyone. I am back and seeing as we are no longer in the nascent stage of our meeting, I shall begin. First of all, congratulations to our three icebreakers. Congrats on giving your speeches, it was very well done. To start off, Postmaster Arti, you had 13 Rs, 2 souls, 3 repetitions, and 1 stutter. Toastmaster Mother, you had 1 2 souls, and 1 line. Toastmaster Shoguna, 6 Rs, 2 souls, 3 repetitions, and 2 stutters. And Toastmaster Sudhamsh, I believe the term is if you want the art counter to miss you, sing the most beautiful song ever. So you have only 2 Rs, very well done. Toastmaster Namita, 5 Rs. Toastmaster Ishita, you can be quite busy. 28 Rs, which I don't know what's possible, but you're playing multiple social hours. And 1 so. Toastmaster Sean, 12 Rs and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Aditya, 2 starters. Guest Joel, 2 source. Guest Liberty, very well done. No syllables at all. Toastmaster Shreya, 9 Rs, 2 and 2 ums. Guest Shruti, none at all. Toastmaster Pranav, 2 Rs and 1 repetition. Toastmaster Seri, perfect. And yes, we were perfect. That is my report. Back to our general event.
what God had reverie for the day. You have good choice. Congratulations.
Second to last thing.
After the one word. You see me just once for alright. So yeah, I'm back style and we're gonna make a good meeting. So first of all, yeah, word of the day. 4 people use it. 1 question. I'm not sure if I okay. Word of the day basically goes next. And Toastmaster Pranam, Toastmaster Namita, Toastmaster Althea, and maybe Toastmaster Short. I missed out on hearing that, but it is fine. Congratulations, you all really good to go. You might take what you take. We'll talk about it. Moving on to the event. First up, usage of language. We have, let me introduce you to my brain. A very fun way to personalize brain. You're using personification to show that, hey, going to introduce my brain. Brain pulls out a highlight reel, a good sentence. Stick figure backwards. I thought that was a very good phrase. We stumbled, we improvised, we pushed the wrong buttons. A very nice way to describe life. To Toastmaster Sudhamsh, I like the way you describe life like being a movie. You had intervals and mentioned how the different phases are, and I thought that was a very good thing to do. Flabbergasted, a good usage of the word. Toastmaster Shreya, a very good opening line. That was a killer opening line. That's critical. Amazing. Kudos to that. Then we had Legion of Speakers. That was a good phrase. Moving on, the improvements. We have brain works to prove capacity. That could be changed to brain works at max capacity. It sounds better that way. Go to another could be changed to go to another friends home because when you leave it at go to another, it kind of leaves sentence in and like you want to kind of wrap it up. So have it as go to another friend's home. So then you kind of have to flow better. Take us to there should have been changed to take us there. This is a bit more of a very tricky thing, but young kindergarten children It's like that child thing that thrives. So maybe have it as just kindergarten children because children are young. Kindergarten children are young. And I was completely getting in a very bad track. We changed to I was going down the wrong path. It doesn't sound good thematically, so maybe you could revise it to have a better flow. I have taken granted, could have been changed to I have taken for granted. Introspecting topic could have been introspective topic. While you sleep, you see everything dark, could have been changed to you see everything in the dark or something because it sounds a bit wrong. We see a bomb in environment, should have been changed to we see in our environment. That you also had, I think it was yes, but you also had a correction that you mentioned amongst with our emotions and colors, which I really like. So good job on that. And finally, it won't feel seasick could have been changed to you won't feel seasick because you were talking about your feeling of feeling seasick. So maybe you could have changed that a bit better. And so like this, you feel the all right. That is all for the grammarian support. Again, good job to everyone who used the word of the day and back to the general.
We are now going to shift to
Okay. So I will give the my report. So the meeting started at 4:52. And we also managed to stick to the timings most of the time to our meeting. So good job to the role players. Also, a note to the role players, come at least 5 minutes early. Sure. I got it. Okay, so Sergeant Arms and President introduced themselves and started the meeting really well. And then that team also introduced their roles and the timing criteria and everything pretty well. The speakers, Toastmaster Madhumita, I felt like my inner voice was coming and giving a speech because whatever you mentioned about overthinking, actually, I was like, I'm not the only one who's thinking that. Great. So good job on that. And Toastmaster Shobana, amazing speech again. A lot of creative content in your speech. And Toastmaster Saddam, when you had mentioned a line, which I actually wrote it down, 36 rank, and there were 36 people in my class. Wonderful. And of course, Hindi is a great element you can include in your speech. So good job on that. And then new topics. Thank you, Toastmaster Siri. Thank you so much for taking up the role. And thank you, Toastmaster Aditya, for exchanging your word. It was. And just one minor suggestion. Try to be a bit louder when you're telling the topic because a few topics were not audible. So just be louder when you are telling the topic. That's it. And yeah, the evaluations were pretty concise, and that team also delivered their reports, and the reports were also concise. So good job, everyone. Some improvements which we could keep in mind from our upcoming meetings is number one, the claps were slowed down in the middle quite a lot of time throughout the meeting. So whenever a member is coming on stage and whenever they are leaving, it's better to clap. So it's a really good way of showing encouragement to the speakers. And another thing is even handshakes were not were not there in the table topic session. Maybe it's because the guests were not aware. So for the benefit of guests, whenever you are entering the stage or leaving the stage, just shake hands because that's a general rule. Apart from that, the meeting went really well. Congratulations, the icebreakers on successfully breaking the ice. Special congratulations to Toastmaster Madhumita for doing her level 1 project for third project. Apologies. Okay. Yeah, with that. Some people do only a samosa, but never mind. Good. Okay. Now I call upon our deciding officer for the final time. Toastmaster. Sorry. And we're gonna chair to the call. We are staying away. Okay, anyway, moving on. So yes, we have come 40. A very nice. I think because I know, wonderful setup. Icebreakers, we have wonderful evaluation stacking. Great job to all the icebreaker speakers. Well, that should have a voting form sent in to the guests. We will be passing around the phone. so that you can take a moment and go to your speaker of the day, maybe sport players, or maybe just take a moment and quickly work. For the first time, I think I have no announcements, which is not really surprising considering we are moving into the NSM space. So, yes, you're all
Recording this first.
oh, yes, media partners will be going into that shortly. Do not worry. We will have official announcements. Yes. Final call for anyone who wants to join the delegation from ATC who will be going to attend the area contest, which will be on Sunday, 30th March. That's this you much which executive Coimbatore. I love that name. Yes. We basically will be leaving a bit early, so if you guys would like to join us, please do inform the EXCOM as soon as possible so that we can include you in our travel plans. Apart from that, I don't think we have much to say except for the fact that we will now be transitioning slowly into the online phase. So we might be sending out a couple of polls for maybe pre-polling or post-polling meetings. So to all the members of the Masters Club, please actively vote in the polls that the VP will be sending out because we would like to accommodate all your needs so that you can, effectively plan for meetings and we don't have one necessarily cancel meetings, right? Maybe you can use a dose of ATC to which your exams. Who knows? All right. Do we have the results out? I would like to ask Rosman, how did you manage to stay for a month? She's sitting in and come on, then she's not writing. But I would like to point out that this woman right here is a mentor. To forget her own name.
Very nice. Somewhere random.
Excellent job. Excellent. I'm saying, here we can cancel it out. You managed to mistake them both for each other. For the same time. Wow. So individuals under what banner? In case there is no diversity system, we're all one and the same. Yes.
Okay.
Here scholars. All right, do we have the results? Oh, very sad. Who has not voted?
So,
I did vote, yes.
so
I was the first. Yes, I did. I was the first. I am always the first person. Yes. Nobody guessed.
Oh,
No, you do not.
you know, it's the comment section for those kids gone for
But if you have the people read it properly, because I know you joined the online with us for the sake of sure. Yeah, I get yes, very well.
Hello everyone, I'm from Roshni.
All right, it's fine. We have a lot of ELC. That is okay. For me, kind of good.
Yeah, AI is similar. So,
All right. To the just curious.
I so much of fun. Again, I wanted to come get my friend.
All right, many thanks. Okay, thanks for joining. Oh, we have guests as well. Anyone feedback? I'm looking at you. Yes. So yes.
Oh,
You have feedback to see.
is that right?
No feedback. All forensic terms. Yes, good. You have feedback. Yes. All right. I would like to know how you manage the question I asked. Maybe to balance the eyes. And you went wrong. You went wrong. Actually, that's very good. That was a good idea.
It took me 20 seconds to get what is the use and
What are it?
scroll
I saw a sci-fi. Do we have the results? How many stars do I have to distract him? Oh my God. Would anyone else like distract the audience because I've done okay. We have this for way too long.
Just get it.
Oh, I'm pretty mad. I was just dragging. So moving on to announcement. I would like to thank anyway. Alright, the results are our best pet speaker. Sorry, guys. Teachers today goes to Toastmaster Sudha. For our best individual evaluator, we have a tie. Toastmaster Sean and Toastmaster Namita. Congratulations! For our best debate topic speaker, we have a killer line opener, Toastmaster. And for our best role player, we have a general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Arthur. For the best auxiliary role player, we have the grammarian, Toastmaster Rishita. Alright, and congratulations for the winner, the participants of meeting 340. With that, I officially adjourn meeting 340. Join us on stage for a quick group